Good evening. I'm Dr. Vishnu Durga, and I just wanted to share something that's on my mind. Now, you might have seen in the description that I mentioned that the video is really about, what would an adult do? And it's something that I use quite a bit in my coaching, where it's about the parent-child communication and the roles that we play um, in our daily lives. And if you think about it, on the one hand, you can have the parent, and on the other hand, you can have the child. And if someone behaves like a parent, they almost put the other person in the role of a child, right? So if I keep pointing to you and say, "Why did you do that?" or "Don't you know you need to do this?" then it can very easily turn into that person having to justify themselves. Similarly, as a child, it's very easy for people to behave like the victim and behave like everything is wrong and everything is happening to them. And when somebody behaves like that, then everybody needs to run and pay attention and baby the child. And it's a very destructive pattern as well, because you can end up in a situation where you're either always responsible for everyone that you come in contact with, and you're always having to be the one who has to give all the guidance, or you might be behaving like a child where you're always looking for protection, always making noise, always wanting to be the center of attention as well. And what we really would want is to, be able to operate like adults. And, adults are the ones that have assertive behavior. So an adult, if I speak to you like an adult, it means that I have a position, I have an opinion, I'm expressing my opinion, and it allows you to as well, and me to appreciate that you also have an opinion, and I'm willing to listen to your opinion. And child behavior really comes from the past as well. Everything that has happened in the past and how it may have affected you negatively, and maybe even having the belief that everything will always affect you negatively as well. Those are the type of things that can go through your head. Whereas, the parent is always thinking about, okay, well, how do I take control? How do I push to make sure that everything happens the way I want it to do? Whereas, adult communication is really about the here and now. It is about what is happening in the present, what needs to happen to move forward. And, you know, in my role as well, I would hear people with a ton of excuses about why things weren't done. Their industry might be different, their family members are different, their team members, they can't get the right team. You hear a million and one excuses, and how different it is and how much disappointment and effort they have to go through to get to where they are. Now, one of those portions is actually someone one of those portions is me. And I can admit that from time to time I also think about how much it has taken to get to the point that I'm at. And I can find a lot of things that could be different, that could be better. Hindsight is always 2020. And when you look back, you can always say, "Oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. This didn't go well, that didn't go well." And you can really start beating yourself up. And what really needs to happen is that you gotta snap out of that and say, come back to now, come back to this particular point in time. And even for someone like me, I have three coaches, and yet there are times where I kind of dive below the line, and a little bit of blame, excuses, and denial. And when you start blaming other people, when you start making excuses for your behavior, when you start even denying that things need to be addressed in your life, you can very quickly start sinking down that quicksand of bad behavior. Um, Blame, excuses, and denial. And there's always been one question that really allows me to wake up and quickly move forward, and it is, what has to happen right now in this situation to make progress in whatever it is I'm working on. Right? So let me repeat that. What has to happen right now in this situation to make progress in whatever it is I'm working on? it's a reality check, right? Because you can be beating up on yourself on things that went wrong this morning, yesterday, last week, last year. And or you could be worrying about, okay, what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day, next week, next year. But you're living here and now, you're living in this moment in time. And sometimes, you just have to pinch yourself and realize, okay, there's something that I can do now. There's something that if I were to do now, it will either affect my life positively or negatively. Of course, I'm expecting you to take an action that allows you to affect your future positively, but don't get caught up in the past. The past is gone, right? The past is not coming back. The only way I would advise you to bring back the past is by learning the lessons from the past, not to relive the pain of the past. Learn the lessons of the past and apply those lessons moving forward. Because I also don't want you to be in a situation where you made a mistake, you felt the pain, and then tomorrow you do the same thing all over again, right? Because that's like going to the supermarket and paying for the bread and walking out of the supermarket without the bread, and then showing up a half an hour later having to pay for the same bread all over again, right? So you don't want to be in a situation where you're paying for the lesson twice. You want to be able to have learned from it and be able to apply it moving forward. So I'm going to repeat that question one more time. Write it down if you can. What has to happen right now, right, in whatever situation you're in, and to make progress in whatever I'm working on. Life isn't perfect. There will always be ups and downs. Right now we're working on quite a number of projects, and there's absolutely none that is going 100% perfect and smoothly. All of them have their individual issues that are occurring. People who may not be cooperating, people who may have their own intentions, organizations that are working with outdated measurements. We've had COVID now. Most of what we've done has gone online, but we still have regulations that say, you need a fire certificate, you need a health certificate. And I'm thinking, I've never seen in the past year Zoom catch on fire as yet, right? So I don't know if we need a fire certificate for Zoom, but that's where a lot of our business happens. But again, these are things that happen, right? When people are so stuck in the past that if they don't go through their checklist, and if they can't check off that, oh, fire certificate is here, then you can move on, then you can stop progress. And you can either get, someone like me, I could get angry about it, can say, can't you see that that has no relevance in what is happening now? Or I can say, great, what can I do in this moment to move it forward? We need that for the new facility. Great, let's get it in. So I hope this is something that wakes you up. It's very important that you know what triggers you to go into such a state of believing that the past is repeating itself, or worrying about the future, and just stop yourself and ask, well, what can I do right now in this moment in order to move in the direction that I'm heading into? Wanted to share that message with you. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, like the video, share the video. If you know anyone who really needs this help as well, maybe they're doing good, but that they can really do much better with the right support, feel free to share this video with them, so that we can really empower people to achieve a lot more in their life. There are a lot of people out there that are so caught up with their daily lives that they don't have the time to develop a better structure, a better way of living, a better opportunity, create more opportunities for other people. So for the 5 to 10% of people, it's most likely just around 5% of people who have the ability, that they've already learned how to deal with life as it is. For those people, I think those are really the people that I work best with. If you are one of those people who you think you've already kind of figured out what's going on, and you really want to move to the next level, reach out. I think that's where I can help you multiply your results. And it also really helps me multiply my results, because me doing it by myself, what if there were 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000 people really creating opportunities and making not just this country, but the world a better place. So I wanted to share that with you this evening. Haven't been able to share for quite a while, working with a lot of fantastic CEOs, really moving their organizations forward. And I would really want to share more and more of this knowledge with you. So take care, have a fantastic evening, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Our world is an employee engagement crisis. Only 13% of employees are engaged in the global workforce, causing dramatic effects in any organization. Your organization can expect a more engaged workforce, improved productivity, an enriched culture, and increased profit. Engage and Grow is not your traditional training company. Training is dead. We're challenging the norm with everything we do, and our customers like it. All programs are individually designed by the Engage and Grow team, enabling you to facilitate the highest quality, tailor-made programs, improve communication skills, create deeper relationships, and foster a caring, social, and cooperative attitude. Our coaching will improve leadership qualities and build solid trust between employees, encouraging innovative thinking and proactive future planning. Engage and Grow will refocus, re-energize, and re-engage your employees, and we have tangible methods to measure the results. Our workforce engagement, leadership effectiveness, women's leadership, and engaging the millennial programs will create movement in the mind of employees and your business, creating a movement that will take your company as an empowered team into the future. Bring the gusto back into your organization. Engage and Grow.